Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. This is Mike, the Northwoods Beer Guy, and as always, I am joined by Jim.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Well, I think I'm doing good. This has been a long trip.
I think we're going to survive. I think we're going to survive our road trip here. This
has been a test for us.
It's been a test, but boy, it's been fun. We have had some very good beers. We've had a couple that were maybe, but for the most part, we've had some really good beers. We saw a number of breweries, like 5 breweries that we've never seen before.
Right.
Had some very good beers at some of them, and
we drank a lot of beer.
We drank a lot of beers. Today, we did revisit a couple of breweries, and actually, they're the first 2 breweries that we ever did an on-location at.
And I think we actually said in our original podcast that we wanted to come back and try them again. So I think we're back again. We're not actually in the breweries.
Nope, right now, no, we're not. We
went there, and I think we can still talk about it because
for sure.
We don't want to bore you with the same stuff that we did last year.
Correct.
We want to give you some more information. So I think that's maybe we'll spice it up a little bit.
Yep, I agree. And, like I said, it was kind of cool to go back to where our first on locations were done. Just to each of them had a couple new beers, a few different new beers that they didn't have last year. So that was cool. We, like you said, we didn't record again from there because it was the same. We're on location. We want to do all new breweries. Try to.
That's our goal.
Yes. And so, like I said, today we went back to Single Speed Brewing.
Yep.
And we went to Second State Brewing.
Yes.
And visited those again. Very good breweries.
And what city are they in?
They're in Cedar Falls.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
The Cedar Falls / Waterloo area, but I think we were in Cedar Falls.
Yes, which is very, very nice downtown area.
Yes.
I mean, it's very rustic.
Yep.
They did a very good job rebuilding it.
What do you call it? Like the old, like in the Cross, it was it's like some cities it's called the warehouse district or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that older part of town, but they're revitalizing them.
Yes.
And same here in Cedar Falls. It's really a neat place. And
and they've done it right because they've remodeled, but they've got the parking is good.
Yes.
I didn't see any open businesses. Every building had a business in it.
When you say open, like a for rent or a vacant business.
There you go.
Correct. And that was kind of interesting.
Which is good. So, I mean, they must be doing it right to bring people. And they've actually got the 2 breweries we went to are within a block of each other.
Exactly.
Which is convenient for us.
It's very convenient.
Yeah.
So, which we want to start with? Single speed? Okay.
So, can I just
by all means,
remind everybody that we actually tried single speed last year.
Yes. Yep.
But it was in Waterloo.
Yes, they do have 2 different locations. That's right.
So what's interesting is that the one we went to today is the original brewery.
Really?
I didn't know if
the
you
one
knew that.
today was much smaller than the one in Waterloo.
So
I did not know that.
So it's the original brewery, sits in the historic Main Street district of downtown Cedar Falls, just a few minutes from the University of Northern Iowa. Gentle coast downhill from the Cedar Valley Nature Trail.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I think everybody knows, but Iowa is very well known for a lot of their bike, the rag rye, other things that go on.
Very much so.
So, but this is their original location where they started brewing. The one we went to last year was the Hostess factory.
Yes, the old Hostess place.
It had a Hostess cakes on the outside.
And you remember that place was a lot bigger.
Oh, that was.
And I think that must be where I'm sure they moved their brewing is there.
Right, they do they do a little bit of brewing here.
Yes.
You saw very small vats.
You're correct. And today's building was smaller, but honestly, I kind of liked it better. I mean, it was really a neat building, and the area of town was really cool. So that's neat to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and last year we struggled trying to talk because there was just so many people.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of people.
It was like super packed.
Today we could have done it at the brewery today because it was a lot less people.
You are correct.
But we decided like I said earlier, that, since we're revisiting these places, we weren't going to do another whole podcast at each one.
We just wanted to wrap up.
We wanted to wrap it up because they did have some new beers.
Yes.
And we tried them, and some of them were pretty good.
Right. Yes, they were.
So,
all right. Well, which one should we talk about? The raspberry punch?
Yeah, we'll start with that. So,
okay.
When we first got there, our wives were like, "Hey, can we get a sample of the raspberry punch, which is a sour?"
Yep.
They didn't have that before.
Right.
And after Barntown, it's like, well, yeah, we'll try. So I mean, I think Barntown may have
that set the bar pretty high.
Yes, they kind of spoiled them.
Yep.
So we got that and tried it, and it was very much a sour.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like the sweet type of sour. I mean, it was okay.
Yes.
But it's one of those where I think I would have got heartburn drinking a full glass of it, and it was not like Barntown sours.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So they do have a little bit of a write-up, not much.
Okay.
It says it's an American-style fruited sour, and it says, "Are you ready for your next challenge? By coming out swinging with sharp jabs of raspberry, hibiscus,
that's what it was,
and elderberry, this formidable fruit sour has climbed the ranks and made its way onto the shift into sour circuit."
Okay.
That's a little bit hard to pronounce.
Yeah, I got to read that one slow.
Smack, boom, bang. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. We have a new champion. So it says it's got 9 IBUs and it's 5% ABV.
Okay.
And
it was red.
Yeah.
In color.
Yeah, we didn't, I don't think we didn't give it, we didn't.
No, I think we gave it what do we give, 1.7, I believe.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, more of your traditional sour type sour.
Yes.
And like I said, our wives really didn't care for it. And we tasted it. And I mean, it was definitely one of those that if you're not into sours, you wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was okay. I mean, it was okay.
We've had worse, but we've had a lot better.
Right.
And like I said, it's of all of the beers down here, all the sours we've tried down here, it's hard to compete with Barntown.
Yes.
And yeah, this one was Barntown is on this side of the spectrum, and this one was on the other side of the spectrum as far as more of a traditional sour.
Yep.
And so yeah, the ladies really didn't care for it. And I mean, I don't think you and I we wouldn't have ordered it.
No,
if normally we wouldn't.
And he gave us, it was a free
just
little taster for us. So
yeah,
so it was all right.
Yep. So
all right, so let's go on to our next one we got here. It's one Knobby one.
One Knobby one. At first we thought it was like Knobby, but it was Knobby. One Knobby one.
And that was the Baltic Porter.
Yes.
With blackberry and vanilla.
Blackberry and vanilla. And that one was it 11.1?
That one is 11.1 with 49 IBU.
IBUs is 49 and the alcohol was 11.1%. Yep. And that one, honestly, I thought was pretty good.
That was decent. It says it's cycling lore describes a mystical bearded rider that few, if any, have seen.
Really?
Only those braving the deepest woods, the steepest climbs, and the most inclement weather have a chance of catching a glimpse. His hunger for gnarl is legendary. Not gnarly, just gnarl.
Okay.
His flow is unequaled. If by chance his existence is reality, we are certain of two things. One is he'll be immersed deep in the wilderness near snow-packed single trail. And two, this is the beer that he would want you to have in your hand. Dare to catch the roost.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that. Interesting. So my initial thoughts on this one, 11.1% is pretty strong for a Baltic Porter. We've had a lot of Baltic Porters, but I don't think they've ever been that high.
No, and I thought what was weird is I think we talked about it. We didn't ask the bartender.
Yep.
Is it barrel aged?
Yeah, it never said anything about that.
It never said anything, and usually, Baltic Porters aren't usually this high in ABV.
Yeah, and
it tasted good.
The flavor itself was pretty decent. Honestly, it did not taste like an 11.1.
Right, and the only thing that I think that both you and I knocked it was it really couldn't taste the blackberry or the vanilla.
It had just a little bit of a sour not as sour, but you know, I mean, kind of the very end of the finish, the taste, the finish. It was a little bit of a weird thing, but overall, I mean, it was good.
Right. I mean, it was good,
but
we've never had a Baltic porter that high ABV.
No, that's the high. I'm pretty sure that's the highest Baltic porter we've ever had.
So it definitely tasted good.
Yep.
But there was, I think we talked about maybe put in a barrel might have helped.
Might have helped it a little bit.
Right.
Yes.
To put it over the top.
Yeah. And like I said, I did enjoy it. It was very good. They did not have that last year when we were there.
Right.
So that caught our eye right away.
Yep.
And like I said, the flavor itself, and I 100% what you said, you couldn't pick up on the blackberry. You know.
Right. Yeah.
It was honestly. I mean, I think if you could have tasted it, it might have elevated it a little bit. I mean, we still gave it a 4.
Yep.
It was very good. I would buy another glass of it. You know, but like I said, it again, like you said before, if it's on the can, it should be in the can, and that I think that's where this one got hurt a little bit. That we really couldn't taste the blackberry or the vanilla.
Right.
But
spot
just
on,
for if they didn't have that on there, it's just a Baltic porter. It was a very good Baltic porter.
Yes. All right. So now we're on to Brewed times 2. Okay. So this is a coffee-infused American brown ale. So 2 of the world's best emerge as ale and Java, right? It's not Java?
Nope, it's Java.
Become one. Our American brown ale unites with locally roasted and cold extracted Ethiopian. Okay, here you go. All right, you say this word. YIRGACH.
You lost me at
EFFE.
Yep, I'm out.
I can't pronounce it.
Is some kind of coffee or something, or what?
It said Ethiopian is what is best described as absolute goodness.
Oh. Well, no wonder it's so hard to pronounce.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Each sip brings forth a velvety smooth blend of cocoa, coffee, and cream.
Okay.
All right, so this
one was
6.2.
Okay.
And 39 IBUs.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, we got this one at the same time. We got order.
Was it? No. This was the second round. We got this one. We got the coconut migration, and we got the tip the calf.
There you go.
So that was in the second batch that we tried because I messed up and I got the wrong beer. So that's why I got this. You know.
So, and I think we both said that it really was, even though it says brewed times 2.
Yep.
It wasn't over the top in coffee.
No.
It was not.
You could taste it, but it wasn't very
pronounced. Not overly strong.
Right.
And even I think the ladies that were with us, they didn't like, their face didn't like cringe.
Right.
I mean, what's weird is I think people might be scared when they say times 2.
Right.
You know, because the coffee was not that over the top.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny. I know I've said this before, but I'm not a big coffee guy.
Right.
And pretty much all the coffee I ever drink is in a stout.
Yes.
You know, so I do like coffee stouts, but like coffee itself, I'm not a big coffee fan.
Right. And this was an American brown ale, so it was really.
It was a different thing.
Yes.
You know, we've had coffee stouts, but not coffee brown ale.
Yeah.
So
this was a little different.
It was a different one.
And I mean, a good different. I mean, it didn't taste bad. There was just, for me, a little touch of bitterness on the finish.
Yep.
But I think overall, it's still very good beer. Nothing,
for sure. I agree with you.
Nothing to complain about.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good one because that was another new one. They did not have that last year.
Yep.
And I think overall we enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So yeah, it was like I said. Our wives were, but they don't drink a lot of coffee either.
Right.
And they're just kind of But I thought it was good.
Yes.
You know.
All right. So now we're going to skip on to tip the calf.
Now, before that, we had tipped the cow initially.
Yes. So I haven't got to that one yet.
Okay.
So it is coming.
I'm sorry. So tip the calf.
So this was, I think, so it says SESSION.
Session. It's a session, so it's a lower ABV.
Milk stout.
Yes.
Okay. So based on our beloved Tip the Cow.
Yep.
Which I think is
yes, that's the one. The other one we
the
had.
best model they have for.
Correct.
Okay. We have slimmed down the ABV and crafted a sessionable. I hope I'm saying it. Sessionable.
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 Yep. So a session beer is just, it's lower ABV, so it's easier to drink.
But they put ABLE at the end of the word.
Sessionable.
Sure. There we go. Sure. Take on a cocoa, not cacao, but cocoa espresso infused milk stout.
Okay, yep.
Go ahead and tip one, or in this particular case, perhaps you should tip two.
Dose. All right.
So this is a 4.5%.
Yep.
And it was 28 IBUs.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you could definitely tell right away. The lower ABV.
Yes. You could taste the coffee.
Yes.
The espresso, you could taste it.
Yep.
But it wasn't like over the top.
Correct.
Like
Yep.
it was very good.
And I think the ladies even liked it because the flavors didn't really scare them off.
It almost had more of a chocolate, the cocoa flavor to it,
So, I mean, that one was okay. And I think for the introductory craft beer drinker, that was definitely...
yeah.
Right?
Yes. They could drink that anytime.
Without
much
getting
so.
scared off.
Yep.
And they might want to have other ones because I believe they have other ones not at this particular tap room.
The Waterloo one. They had, because they had some variations. Remember last year they did anyway. They had variants of the tip the cow and such.
Yes.
So, yes.
All right. So we're at the tip the cow.
Yep.
All right. So let's see if we can find...
And the tip the cow, if I remember, it was 10.9%. So it was definitely the big brother of the tip the calf.
Yes. So, wait, here we go. Tip the Cow is a cocoa espresso milk stout.
Yep.
Have you ever revealed in the essence of a chocolate-covered espresso bean? How about in the form of a beer? This full-bodied, creamy milk stout has been touched by the gentle hand of sidecar coffee roasters, resulting in a rich but smooth option boasting notes of roast and cocoa.
See, when we read that, it made no sense to me. I think they left a word off of there or something. So
But I don't know what the roast, there got to be alongside velvety sweetness.
Yep.
All right, so that one was a 6.2% at 34 IBUs.
The tip the cow was? I thought that was higher. I thought it was like 10.9.
Well, that's...
Or what was the one that we had that was 10 point? I thought that was the tip the cow.
So is there another tip the cow that's barrel aged? I wonder if that's...
I don't know. Let me look on Untappd here. Because I might be wrong, but I thought one of them we had was 10.9. Let's see. Let's see. Two cows.
Two cows?
Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. That was 10.9. Imperial double milk stout.
Which one is it? Tip the cow vanilla bean?
Single speed 2023. It was just
here it is.
The two cows. Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, we were looking at the wrong one. We apologize.
There we go.
Yes, I knew that we had the one that was higher.
So 2024 Imperial milk stout aged in bourbon barrels.
Yes.
So the journey to the barrel had worn on our beloved cow friends. Both arrived weary from travel. Once they reached their destination, they settled in for an extended oak rest. A full year later, just in time for the day created in their honor, they were awake, they were refreshed, and they were ready to visit your palate.
And that one
is 10.9.
And that was very good.
And 27 IBUs.
And that was very good.
Yes, this was our best one, I think.
Yes, we gave this a 4.1.
Yep.
And this definitely had was it a chocolate?
Yes.
It's a sweeter flavor.
Yep.
But
no burn.
No. There's no way I'd have thought this one or even the Baltic Porter. I didn't think either of them were as high ABV as what they said.
Right. Without doubt.
But this one was for sure sweeter than what the Baltic Porter was. So
this was definitely our number one from single speed from this weekend.
Yes.
That was very good. I'm glad we stopped there just to go back and try that.
Oh, yeah.
And especially the 2024 version. So they're doing good because I think on our last podcast, we said that this was a good beer.
Yep.
And they're still doing good work with it.
They're doing good. And this one was and even our wives, they really enjoyed it. They were like, wow, that was very good.
Yes. So I think our last one has got to be
we had the Coconut Migration.
The Coconut Migration.
Which was a double IPA.
Yep.
That was...
Oh, we found it.
Okay.
So, and actually I think last year we rated this as our best IPA.
We rated this the best, but... Today it was different.
Right. It didn't.
They tweaked something. It was different, I think.
So it says, I think you remember this, a Pulpit Rock Brewing Company.
Yep.
From Decorah, Iowa.
Yep.
And Single Speed Brewing Collaboration.
Yep.
So we've been to Pulpit Rock.
Yes.
Very small brewery.
Very small.
Brewing with the guys from Pulpit Rock is like taking a vacation. This time around, our destination is the tropics. If you like pina coladas and or getting caught in the rain, you're going to be feeling this beer.
That sounds like a song.
I think so.
Do you like pina coladas or getting caught in the rain?
If you're not into either of those things, well, that sucks for you.
Yeah.
We still recommend ordering one of the beers. And I think before we really had a very strong coconut.
Yes.
Which downplayed the IPA.
Yep.
Because this is a 7.4% ABV, 75 IBUs.
Where today, I think the coconut flavor was lower than what it was last year.
It was very faint.
I still think for 7.4%, like a double IPA, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't, the hoppiness wasn't that strong.
Right.
But it totally was, the good part was the coconut. Now it's really gone.
Yes.
I thought.
Yeah, it did not taste like last year's.
No.
Because that was phenomenal.
Last year's was the best IPA I think I've ever had.
And the coconut was perfect.
Oh, yes. And today it was almost gone.
Yes.
So I don't know what they changed. Hopefully, if they're listening, it'd be nice if they could go back,
however
to
much
what their
coconut
recipe
they put
last
in.
year. Yeah.
That was very, very good.
Yes. Yeah. So that was the only kind of a bummer was that one. Because honestly, when we saw it, I was like, oh, we're going to try that again because that was amazing last year. And then it just kind of fell a little bit flat this year. I really did enjoy the smaller this building here.
Okay.
Their original one. It was more of a like a quaint kind of a.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was more personable, maybe.
Yep.
Like I said, I really enjoyed that, and it's kind of cool because, like I said, where we were at in the town, you could walk to a lot of different bars or shops or whatever in that area.
Yep.
So I mean, there was a lot you could do there. So I can definitely see why they kept that open because that's a gold mine, I think.
Oh yeah.
In that area. So yeah, I like I said, I think being now that we went to both of their breweries in the Waterloo/Cedar Falls area, I liked it today. I thought that building was more my speed, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very like close and personal.
Yes.
There was only 5 tables?
Yeah.
And the bar.
If that, maybe 5 or 6 at the most.
And a small little bar.
Yep.
And the rest of it was all dedicated to brewing.
Yep.
So
and it was cool. I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad we got to see it.
Yes. Without a doubt, that was good to go back.
Yep.
Even though it was the different location, same brewer. Very good. I'm glad we went.
Very good.
So where do we go next then?
Well, from there, we were just basically a block away, and we went to Second State Brewing.
Yes.
So that was the second place that we ever did a on location podcast from. And when we went there, and now was this was a different location as well?
No,
was this the same one?
Yep.
This is the same. I'm sorry. Yes, this is the same one.
For this one, it just says it's is a brewery in downtown Cedar Falls.
Yes. Yes.
Opened in March 2017. They have a kitchen that's open.
Yep.
And they keep updating their site. I mean, they're right next to a outdoor band.
Yep. And they had the one building just down from them was axe throwing. And remember, and all.
Yes.
And last year when we were there, they had it all decorated up for Christmas and all that. This year, now that's passed a little bit, so that's gone. But it was still, it's in that. I think they call it the Main Street area or whatever.
Historic area.
Historic area. Yep. Yes. And it's really cool because you don't see an empty building there.
Right. No.
Every building has a business in it, so that's really cool. So we went to Second State. And they had some new beers.
Yep.
A few. Not too many. We had 4
beers.
Well, 2 of them were new. And then the other 2 we tried again.
Right.
So the first new one that we had
was One Time at Band Camp.
One Time at Band Camp. And that
5%.
Yep.
Spiced herb beer.
Spiced herb beer.
No herb?
Herb.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I know you weren't a huge fan. Our wives, they really kind of weren't. Because it was apple and cinnamon, and I can't remember what else was supposed to be in there. It was one of those that it was
It
different.
took a couple drinks to.
Yeah, after a couple of drinks, I didn't mind it because I pretty much was finishing that one off because nobody else wanted it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. I didn't.
It kind of grew on you after.
Yes, there you go. Kind of like a fungus,
Right.
a little bit.
And I guess the other challenge too, I just looked, their website doesn't talk anything about their beers. It doesn't even talk really much about their brewery or how they started or much else. So, I mean, I know they want to keep probably everything close, but I mean, it's good to know a little bit. So if they do listen to this, I mean, it's not gonna hurt to put things out there.
Right.
It's just gonna help people to understand what they're talking, what's going on.
Oh, exactly.
So we can spread the word.
Yep.
So I mean, we gave that a 3.0.
Yes, I did. I liked it. It was kind of a little bit of a reddish hue to it.
Yep.
Like you said, after the couple of tastes, you started to taste the cinnamon but it wasn't like super over the top.
No, it was very mellow.
It was pretty mellow.
Yep.
But I did enjoy it. Like I said, I know the girls kind of weren't fans. They wanted. That's why I bought it because they wanted to taste it, and I'm like, no problem.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, that was our first one. Then our next one, this one does not have a name.
No.
It was a barrel-aged Doppelbock.
And it was the only barrel-aged beer that they have on tap.
Yep, 8.9%.
Yep. So we had to try it.
Right. And I guess for me, I was a little, when you use the word barrel, we didn't know what type of barrel it was.
Right. We didn't have any of that information.
And we even asked the bartender. I don't think they even...
Yeah, she didn't know.
But it was a Doppelbock aged in a barrel.
In a barrel.
So it was 8.9%. And we give it a 3.2.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It was okay.
Right.
Nothing
like over the top.
No. And I think I'm trying to remember if we had another barrel-aged Doppelbock before. We may have had one other one. That's not like
not many.
That's not a style you normally put in a barrel.
Right.
So it's pretty rare.
And what did the bartenders like? This was their first attempt at doing barrel-aged?
I think so.
So they haven't done many.
Right.
And this is
It was one of the first ones that they've done because that's the one thing I was like, hey, do you know? And she goes, no, I don't know what it is. And I go, have you done other barrel aged ones? And I believe she said no.
Right.
And so I give me if that was their first attempt, it was okay then. I'm
right for sure.
It changes our opinion a little bit.
Our perspective.
I mean, the score is going to be the same, but I do think that if that is their first, and if they continue to try it, I think they'll get better.
Yes.
So.
But it's not like they had a stout or an Imperial stout that they could drop in there. That was
exactly. They don't have like the two cows.
Yes.
You could have dropped that in a barrel easily.
Bourbon barrel.
Easy. And where Second State really doesn't have that.
Yep. But they're trying.
They're trying. So I give them an A for effort for doing a Doppelbock. It's something different.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we had our second. And our third was the peanut butter stout.
Yes. And we had that last year.
Yep. 6.2%.
Yep. And we
very good aroma.
Tried it. It smelled like peanut butter.
Yes. The aroma was spot on.
Yes. The flavor
was not quite.
It kind of reminded me of when you have that powdered.
Yes. Because that really lingered in your mouth the most.
Yes.
It wasn't the good peanut butter flavor, but it was like you're trying to rub your tongue how do I get this out?
It was a weird, like I said, I always describe it as a powdered peanut butter, like a fake peanut butter.
Yes.
And again, it was decent, but
not bad.
No, but we've had a lot of other peanut butter stouts that have been way better.
Yes. It definitely, you can tell the quality of the beer by the type of peanut butter they put in it.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, if you really put a good peanut butter in there, the flavor is going to really shine through.
Yep. I agree.
So that was our third one. Our fourth one was the vanilla cream stout.
Yes.
And that one I thought was good. Yeah, that was a 5.9%.
And we rated it pretty high last year. And we got to try it again. And that was very good.
That was probably, of this group of four, I believe that was the best one. Yes, best flavor.
Yes. And that was smooth. Very much you could taste the vanilla.
Yes.
The cream, I don't know what the cream was, but it was very smooth, very mellow.
Yes.
The vanilla really shined, I thought. And I think that was the best one we tried today there. And
I believe so.
So if you're ever there, get the vanilla cream stout because that was very good.
Yes, I would recommend that one. Of all the ones we had, you would definitely like that one. Any novice beer drinker, or even a good craft beer drinker, would like that vanilla cream stout.
Exactly. And it was super smooth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it was
almost like
what
velvet.
did you say the ABV was?
5.9.
So very drinkable.
Yes.
So
yes.
I mean, if there's people that just new to craft beer, they could drink that.
Oh,
and like I said, that vanilla was spot on.
Yes.
I thought it was really good. So they do that very good.
Yes.
Now, if they can take their peanut butter, get rid of the powdered peanut butter, and do a different type of thing.
Yep.
I think that could greatly help that beer.
Right. So what I want to bring up to you one final time is, the purpose of what we do.
Yep.
Is to try to not tell people about trying a beer.
Right.
It's about experiencing a different craft beers, right?
Yep. Exactly.
So I mean, to this weekend, we kind of tried a bunch
of different beers. Yes.
And it wasn't so we could try more beers, but it's try to tell people what's out there.
Yep.
So what do you think about that? I mean,
as far as like the ones we tried today.
So for people that are listening to the podcast for the first time, they're like, why should I try a craft beer when I can do a Miller Lite or I can do a Bud Light, a Busch Light?
There are so many flavors out there, you know what I mean, and so many different variations on beer. The way, and again, we're as guilty as anybody. When we first got into beer, it was just beer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There wasn't all the craft beer.
Right.
And then once we started getting into it and trying all these different beers, you realize, oh my gosh, beer should have flavor. And then you start going into all these different kinds of beer and just the different, even like this weekend, the different breweries, just to taste how all these breweries they could do a similar type beer, but they do their own spin on them. And
if somebody's scared of like trying a new craft beer, should they be even scared?
No, they shouldn't be scared because there's so many different variations of a beer out there.
Yep.
But you're going to come across beers that you like. And it's just like this weekend. Yep. There was, at all these breweries, there was beers we loved. Yep. And at the same brewery, there might have been one that were like, yeah, that's not so good. But to us, that's the fun. To me, anyway, right? I mean, that's the fun of it is...
Well, that's why I wanted to make sure you brought that out, because, I mean,
we always run across some that are not so good, but you know what? We have never labeled a brewery as, oh, that's terrible because of this beer. Because you know what? We try and try as many from these breweries as we can, because you know what? Yeah, this one might be not so good, but they may have 3 that are great.
Right. And like some of the times when we're doing our podcast, we're trying to keep like a similar style, maybe bourbon barrel.
Right.
Or IPAs or stouts. But here,
when we're on location, we don't do that. We're focusing more on the individual breweries themselves.
And how does that help the people that might be listening to the podcast?
Well,
because they can get different varieties.
Correct. And, that's the thing where, I'm going to skip ahead a second, because next year when we come back, because I'm sure we're coming back in this area, we're going to have to go back to Confluence, and we were going to try some of their non-barrel aged beers. We're going to try barrel age again if they had different ones. But because they had so many beers on tap, I would really like to try some of their other beers to see if they stack, how they compare to their barrel aged program, because their barrel aged program is amazing.
Right.
So I'd like to try some that aren't in that. You know what I mean? Right. So,
but what did you know before you opened up the door to walk into Confluence?
Didn't know a thing. The only thing we knew was they were in the area.
Right. So the novice craft beer drinker, if somebody's going to try it, they can't be afraid. They should know. Just go try.
Never be afraid.
Open the door and walk in and
go in. And the vast majority of the breweries we've ever been to have probably had at least 8 or 10 of their own beers on tap.
Yep.
Right? I mean, some of them, Confluence has 34. So, I mean, there's a very different what they have. But, you know what I mean? Never be afraid to try. Because I'm pretty sure every craft brewery we've ever been to, if you want to get a taste, they'll give you a little bit to try it. And if you don't like it, okay, can I try this one? And you're going to find something you like.
Right. And I mean, even when we didn't ask, we were at Barntown Brewing.
Oh, yeah.
We just sat there and the guy goes, here,
try this.
We just tapped them today.
Exactly.
I mean, so I believe it, like, what is different for a brewery than even for a bar.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Right? Do you see
exactly?
You know,
yes.
a bar. It's where a lot of the same people are always going. We're at a brewery. This guy's trying to sell you his product.
Yep.
He wants you to like what he's brewing, and he's. They're the most friendly people. They want to talk about their product.
Exactly. They're proud of their product.
I mean, different than any bar that we've been to. I mean, you can go to a bar.
There's a difference when you sell a product and when you make a product.
There you go.
When you make a product, you have your heart and soul, and blood and sweat and tears are in that.
Right.
When you sell a product, it's just another product.
So what do you think about this trip that we did?
This trip was amazing.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. We went to, including today, I think we went to 8 different breweries.
Yep.
So I'm going to say this was probably one of the funnest trips we've been on, because we went to so many different places, tried a wide variety of beers.
Yes.
And honestly, of the 8 places we went to, we really didn't have a beer that was, oh my God, that's terrible.
Right. Well, I mean, we tried them all.
And we tried a lot of different beers, but we didn't have one that was like, ugh,
right. There were some that were not as good.
Correct. But there was nothing that we were like offended by.
Right.
There
was no ground fish.
Correct. There was no ground fish.
Right. So, I mean, that one for sure is on the top of the list for bad beer.
Yep.
We had nothing that was
nothing remotely close. So, Jim, I'm just going to ask you, of all the breweries we went to,
yep,
what are your top 2 for this trip?
So I would have to say, unfortunately, that Confluence was like head and shoulders.
Yep.
Kudos to their barrel aging program.
Yep.
They are doing, like I think we talked about, in our opinion, one of the top 5 breweries for barrel aging their process.
Especially in the upper Midwest.
Oh,
and we had never had one of their beers before.
No.
At all.
No. Never even knew that they had that many.
No. And I'm not going to cut you off, but I agree 100%. That was my number one, head and shoulders way above everybody else.
And I think we kind of talked about it, that we wish we could have stayed to do a second podcast there.
Next year.
Yes.
Next year we're going to start off with
the lower ABV. I mean,
the
the words that they had to describe their beers, they sounded so good. I was like, wow, we should try another set of 8. So that's probably our only thing. That's probably the only thing. So
next year we will go back there and do 2 podcasts. We'll see if they. I'm sure they're going to have different barrel aged beers too. So if they do, we'll do a separate one but we're going to do a podcast on some of their other non-barrel, because I think that would really be interesting to see, because if their non-barrel aged beers are as good as our barrel aged, holy cow, we've been missing out.
Yes. So for sure that was my number 1.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't even. Are you sitting down for this?
I'm sitting down.
That Barntown Brewing with all their sours was my second choice.
Well, that's funny, because now I have nothing to say, because they're my second choice too.
The sours that they have are.
Their sours were unbelievable.
Yeah,
and they weren't sour.
They were not tart.
They were a sweeter, but they had flavors that was like, oh my gosh.
And you could what you smelled.
Yes.
It was phenomenal.
You're saying about if it's on the can, it should be in the can.
Yeah.
They nailed it.
Wow,
when you smelled it and you tasted it, you knew exactly what you're getting, and it was amazing.
And so those 2 were at the top of the list.
Yes.
The other ones were okay. I'd recommend them, and the way that they're situated, the other 4 are all within walking distance in downtown Des Moines.
Yes.
So if you are able to get a motel or something downtown, you can walk to those.
Yep.
Without any problem.
Yep.
I think there was probably a couple other ones that were around. We didn't get a chance.
We didn't get to go to all of them.
Right.
Because there's a lot of them in this area.
I mean, we tried.
Yeah. Maybe next year we'll have to try it. Hit some of those other ones, but we're for sure going to go back to Confluence.
Yep.
And I do think we need to try and go back to Barntown. We may, depending on when it happens, we may have to try to come down here in June to hit their beer festival. We'll see what happens. We don't know.
But I mean, I very much enjoyed the whole trip.
Yes.
I mean, we tried a lot of beers that we don't get experience or not experience, but like the availability.
Right. They're not around where we're at.
Right. So it's good to come out here and try. I mean, and we hope that we're providing the listener with a little bit of different knowledge about the beers. Yep. We don't want to sway them one way or the other, but we just want them to try.
Yep.
Go out there and because I think that the one thing that I think I've saw is if people don't go to some of these craft breweries, they're surviving on people going there. They're not like the big brewers who are like sending truckloads of stuff to every
millions of cans out. No,
if you don't participate in a craft beer brewery, their tap room, that's how they survive.
You know, and typically the thing that I've learned on average, now there's a few outliers that we've ran into in the past, but on average, if you go to a craft brewery, you're going to meet some of the nicest people.
Yes.
They're willing to talk to you. They will give you a taste. They will, if you can say, hey, this is kind of what I like. They're going to have something.
Yes.
You know, and they're going to steer you in the right direction.
They're not right, because they want you to like their
exactly.
product. Exactly. So I think that's, if anything, I think we can try to convey to even the listeners that are out there.
Yep. That's what we're trying to do.
Right. You know? I mean, because we're not paid.
Nope.
We're not receiving
we're not
any
sponsored
free,
by anybody.
We don't receive any free beer. We're just going out there we buy our own beer.
Yep.
We talk
every
about
beer
it.
we've ever had on here we've bought.
Yes.
And
our only influence is that bartender that gives us.
Because we do the same thing. We come in, we talk to the bartender.
Yep.
You know, we say, hey, here's what we're doing. What would you recommend? And most of the time, we didn't even tell them that we have a podcast.
Right.
We're just like, hey, what would you recommend? What are your best beers?
Right.
You know, now Confluence, we didn't do that. We saw the barrel age, we went, okay, here's our list. You know, but we don't get swayed either. And I think everybody out there, you have a pretty good idea what we like. Yes, we like barrel aged and that kind of stuff, but we'll try anything.
Right. I mean,
you know, and we're going to give you our honest opinion.
Yes. And granted, I'm not a big sour guy. I'm not a big IPA guy, but I'll try them, and I'm going to give you my taste on it. Mike's taste is a little different, but I mean, we're trying to let you know. So hopefully this weekend, there's a few. I mean, we got quite a few podcasts we've just completed. So this is going to probably be in March sometime when you guys are listening to this.
Yeah, to this one, it'll probably be around there somewhere.
So hopefully, I mean, we're letting you know the good things about craft beer.
Yes, and
right. I mean,
I agree 100%. Like I said, the thing that if no matter what town you go into, if you see there's a craft brewery, go there and just spend a little time. Right. Talk to the bartender. If you're lucky, the brewer may be there. Right. You know, a lot of them you can go on a tour. But they're going to
ask questions.
They're not going to not answer you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They want to talk to somebody.
They love talking about their products. And that's the thing that I really enjoy about craft beer.
Right.
You know, for the vast majority, yes, every so often we run into a guy that's pretty, you know, but for the most part, they are some of the nicest people you've ever met, and they'll give you a free little sample to try it.
Yep.
You know,
so what do you think? What your final thoughts on this?
Overall, this was probably one of the most amazing weekends we've had is for trying craft beers.
Yes.
You know, I mean, all the breweries we went into, other than Single Speed and Second State, we had never been to.
Yep.
And boy, they didn't disappoint. I mean, even though, you know, the two we said were our top two were definitely head and shoulders above.
Yep.
But the rest of them, every one of them had a good beer.
Yes.
You know, and
without doubt,
none of them had a horrible beer at all. You know, it's just some of what they had was maybe not our style or whatever. But overall, Jim, I think I love this trip. This was amazingly fun.
Well, I'm glad you invited me along. I'm glad.
Oh yeah. So mark down next year. I'm sure it'll be around this time next year.
Yep. So I mean,
we're going to have to look for some more down here to try some different ones. Right. But we'll keep Confluence on the list. And probably Barntown too. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and especially, I mean, so that's the good thing. I'm glad we were able to do this. I mean, because our health, lives, things change, but we're able to do this now. Exactly. We're able to talk about it. So we're glad people are listening.
Yep.
But please still send us your questions.
Oh, exactly.
And if you have anything
you have breweries in your area that
you want us to
check out, we'd love to do that.
Yes. Or if you need help getting down here,
Mike or I if you're willing to come up and pick us up, we'll ride with you down there.
We'll do anything.
Whatever it takes.
If it deals with craft beer, we'll try to help.
We will try and help out.
Yes.
So again, Jim, thank you so much for being a part of this because, like I said, this was a fun trip.
Yep.
And,
no problem, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad we've had a number of on location ones we did down here, but like I said, they were all very unique, very good stuff. We had a blast.
Yes.
You know, and
very fun.
If you're ever in the Des Moines area or the Cedar Falls Waterloo area, stop at some of these.
Yes.
And try them and. Tell them the Northwoods Beer Guy. You heard him on the Northwoods Beer Guy. And
then we're so sorry for all those women that were screaming in the background.
Yeah. we left our wives and their friend unsupervised, and maybe you heard it. I don't know, but yeah,
they're having fun too.
A little rambunctious there. So anyway, like we always say, we hope your campfire is always warm
and your beers are always cold.
See you later.
Take it easy. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.